Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 11th of October 2024. In today's Millwall news, we start off with this from the South London Press at londonnewsonline.co.uk. Talking to Ryan Leonard, Millwall should be in the top half of the Championship table. Key player makes claim as he assesses Lions' start. Ryan Leonard has agreed with Millwall manager Neil Harris that the Championship table is not a fair reflection of the team's endeavours in the opening 9 matches of the season. Has it only been 9 matches? Jeez, I guess with the bloody 2 international breaks, yeah. The Lions are 18th in the standings after stalemate at West Bromwich Albion at the weekend. Only Norwich City have created more big chances than the South Londoners, level with Leeds United on 27 this season. And the same applies for big chances missed. The Canaries are on 19, with Millwall and their Yorkshire rivals on 17. Oh, I didn't know those stats, Leonard told the South London Press. They are good stats, but also bad ones at the same time. We are creating chances, and I can't remember in my time and Millwall being right near the top of the table for big chances. It shows that we're playing a lot more on the front foot and attacking. If we are creating chances, that can only be a good thing into the rest of the season, especially for the boys at the top end of the pitch. Long may it continue. If you look at a lot of our performances, then we've deserved more wins on the board and to pick up more points than we have. We've been unlucky with a few injuries, and the goals we've conceded have been the type, as a club, we don't like to concede. Other than the Cardiff game, when we were well below our standards as a team, we know that. We have performed well and arguably been the better side in 90% of the matches we played so far this season. We could easily be in the top half of the division. For some reason, we haven't had the rub of the green, in terms of some of the results going with us. As a group, we're trying to look at the positive side of what we've done so far and aim to really build on that. Our backs were probably against the wall after the Cardiff defeat. We were all hurting from that, and West Brom was a game where we had to roll up our sleeves and show what as a team and a football club we're about. It probably wasn't the easiest on the eye for people at the game and our supporters who travelled, but we defended solidly and got a good point, and there won't be many teams that can get clean sheets against them this season. It was important we stopped the rot after Cardiff and put in a dogged performance. 4 of Mill's next 5 fixtures are at the Den after the international break, starting with Derby on October the 19th. Leonard and Romain Esse were seen arguing during the loss to Cardiff, but the former says it just shows their desire to be successful. Oh yeah, me and Rob had a bit of a falling out on the pitch, but we went in Thursday morning, had a chat about it in the cuddle before moving on, said Leonard. 33. I don't know why you got to mention his age there. It's football, like I said to Rom, if we didn't argue or say anything, then it means you wouldn't care. And the fact we do have the odd argument is okay, as long as nobody takes it personally, which we don't do. We're a great group of lads with a really good squad ethic. We can call each other out when we feel people are doing wrong, and also say well done when people deserve it. It's the kind of things we also say in training as well. Me and Rom want to do well as individuals, as a team and as a football club, and it can only be a positive thing. If someone does something really well, then he'll be the first to tell them that too. Rom tries hard and works his balls off, and he's performing on the pitch and getting his rewards. And some of the best games I've seen Rom play is when maybe he hasn't scored a goal or an assist, and our job as players around him, is to keep trying to help him improve and keep giving him the football and letting him do his thing. Well, I don't know if this is any factor really, but in that West Brom game, obviously they moved Romain Esse over to the left-hand side of the pitch, and rather ironically, I don't know if they were doing that because obviously Leonard, I think, was moaning about Esse losing or giving the ball away a bit too cheaply, and then Leonard having to cover and make the tackles, and obviously he did one and got booked, and that's when they started arguing. Ironically, after they moved Romain Esse over to the left, I think Ryan Leonard had the most tackles of a Millwall player in a game for about 10 or 15 years against West Brom. He had to tackle, he had about 10 or 11 tackles. So, that's crazy. Now, talking of Romain Esse, obviously he played yesterday, and I didn't put it in yesterday's video, and there's a very good reason for that, because I totally forgot about it. Because it's kind of, the under-20s is not a real age group, which is why they don't call it the under-20s. For some reason they call it the elite squad, and they generally, even though these games were played in front of crowds, sometimes they just go to like a training camp and play each other, but they were actually playing in crowds this time. So If you didn't know, if you haven't found out already, so Romain Esse played in this game in Italy, which England under-20s won. Esse notched his assist on the international duty, yeah. I found some highlights of the game, and it's 30 minutes, and there is a lot of action of Romain Esse in this game. He's playing very well in this game. You can tell by the end he gets a bit gassed. He got took off in the 65th minute, and he did have a kind of assist in terms of he was on the side, passed it, got to the guy Darko Gyabi in the middle, who's a former Millwall youth player who went to Man City and then now he's somewhere else. And he took a long range shot that kind of just, what do they call it, a grass cutter that just went into the corner. So kind of an assist. He put in some lovely crosses to a lot of people who didn't really capitalise it. But this is on the community page on my YouTube channel, The Daily Millwall. If you go to that, you can see it. This is youth football highlights, and you just click on that, and you can see what we're talking about. So yeah, the Millman started the match on the right flank for his country and pulled the ball back for Darko Gyabi to rifle home from range to counter. Tommaso Ebon is opener for the host. Max Dean netted the winner for the Three Lions, confirming a valuable victory in the Euro Elite League. Click here for a full match report, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. England remains the next fixture is against Czechia on Monday the 14th of October, with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. and that is going to be held at Doncaster Rovers. But what they do in these games is they flip the starting 11 and the substitutes. So it means that if you were planning to go on that game at Doncaster, that Romain Esse will probably not start. And it's a testament to how well they consider him, that he started in the stronger of the two games against the Italians rather than the Czechias. So there you go. And we're going to take a look at that match report now, which was rather weird. We're going to have a read of it, but so this match report does not mention Romain Esse a single time. Not once. But you watch the highlights that I shared here, and he's heavily involved. Apart from, I think, the first 25-30 minutes, because England are going down the left-hand side a lot. But then when they switch over to the Romain Esse side, the right flank, there's a lot more going on there. It looks a lot more dangerous, and I think they decide, yeah, keep going down there. So Max Dean nets a late winner as Paul Nevin's side claimed 3 Euro Elite League points in Frosinone. England men's elite league squad kicked off their October international with a hard-fought victory against Italia. A wonderful long-range effort from Darko Gyabi and a winner courtesy of Max Dean helped the Young Lions to all 3 points in the Euro Elite League out in Frosinone. KG first half offered little in terms of clear-cut chances for both sides, with cheap fouls and stoppages in play preventing any momentum. Italy broke the deadlock on the brink of half-time, however, when a teasing ball into the area from Simone Bafundi allowed Tommaso Ebon to nod home. Will Lancashire had time to go close with a header, but directed it straight into the goalkeeper's hands as the half-time whistle blew. The game became more open in the second period when England, starting fast through the host, showed their defensive solidity as they held onto a slim lead. The leveller did eventually come, however, when Darko Gyabi launched a fantastic 25-yard strike into Lorenzo Torriani's bottom left corner. Moments later, a combination of Tommy Simkin and Kaylee Casey on the goal line stopped a near certain goal when AC Milan defender Kevin Zeroli went close with a header. Fast reaction to keeping the score level. I'm going to tell you right now, that was over the line. Obviously, I think they don't have VAR and all that bollocks for a kids game. That was over the line. Watch the highlights and you tell me, but that was over the line. Got away with one there. The half continued in the same open fashion as Zach Nelson fizzed a shot just wide of the post before goalkeeper Lorenzo Torriani denied Dominic Ballard with a point-blank header, but the Young Lions walked away from the happier of the two sides in the end. Ballard launched onto a loose ball in added time and he squared for Max Dean, who comfortably tucked away his chance, giving Paul Nevin's side the lead only a handful of minutes from full time. With 3 impressive points in their back pocket, the Young Lions now return home to face Czechia in Doncaster on Monday the 14th of October, 7 p.m. kickoff, in search of 2 wins in 2. and Romain Esse was number 7. He's number 7 in that game, and he came off. When did he come off? It says it somewhere. He came off for Dominic Ballard in the 65th minute, which is in the top line of the substitutes. So there you go. And like I said, what this means is that they're going to rotate the teams, and the substitutes will probably start in that game, and then Romain Esse will probably be in the bench in the other game. So kind of disappointing that if you were going to Doncaster, you're not going to see Romain Esse for that much. He probably will come off the bench, because you see most of the players did come off the bench. The only ones that weren't used were Max Merrick and Ben Cisse, and I think probably one of them is a goalkeeper. I don't know if they are. I think Max Merrick will probably be the goalkeeper. So yeah, there you go. Now, talking about the other two who played today on Friday, I did share that as well on the page, on the community tab. Those games were shown live on YouTube, one officially, one unofficially, with a stream that kept breaking up. It was an illegal stream, and yeah, it was shown on YouTube because nobody really cares about the rights holders don't really care if this stuff is shown on YouTube, and it was. And I watched the illegal stream because Aidomo Emakhu started for Northern Ireland, for Republic of Ireland. He started for the Republic of Ireland, and then when he got subbed off, and then I stopped watching because the stream kept crashing. It was jarring my balls off. So yeah, here we go. Here is the starting lineup. We started up front, and it was a bit of a sour result. There wasn't many clear-cut chances for Emakhu or the Irish in general, or for Norway to that matter. You can see Emakhu started number 19. He played 77 minutes, and so Ireland made 3 changes at the same time, and Ireland conceded in the 93rd minute of the game, and they really needed to win this game, and it's probably put in jeopardy their chances to qualify now. If we read the match report, Republic of Ireland under-21s were on the wrong end of a late drama in their Euro 2025 qualifier in Cork, as Norway snatched a 1-1 draw with a controversial last-gasp equaliser. Sean Ruffin's 75th minute goal seemed to have earned the Irish a victory, which would have guaranteed them at least a playoff place as they chased the country's first qualification for a European under-21 Championship finals. However, Benfica's Andreas Schölerb levelled in the final seconds of injury time after his teammate Sindra Walla Egili clearly pulled the jersey of home defender Ancelo Garcia McNulty in the build-up. A home victory would have ended Norway's qualification hopes of going into the Tuesday's final round of fixtures when Jim Crawford's side faced Group A leaders Italy in Trieste. Instead, Norway remained very much in the qualification picture as they prepared for a home contest with out of contention Turkey. Italy lead the Irish by 3 points with Norway 2 behind Crawford's side. Lincoln City's Ruffin fired Ireland ahead from close range 15 minutes from time after being set up by Johnny Kenny. Earlier, Kenny had gone close to breaking the deadlock as he tested Norway keeper Sander Tangvig in the first half, and then fired over from close range in the second half after Tangvig was unable to hold a fierce Ruffin shot. Schölerb was dangerous throughout and had a shot blocked by home defender Emmanuel Edegboyega before having a 67-minute penalty claim turned down as James Abankwah was given the benefit of the doubt for his challenge. After Ruffin's goal, the Benfica striker seemed set to finish on the losing side, but he swept in Norway's equaliser in the final minute of injury time after keeper Tiernan Brooks was unable to hold Philo Asgard's shot, which allowed Schölerb to ham home from close range. However, it was obvious that Egili had pulled Garcia McNulty's jersey in the build-up to the equaliser. So there you go. And if we can, let's have a look at the table while we're here, might as well. So that's what it looks like. And disappointing because they needed to win that game. And it probably means that they're not going to be qualified now. And no, it's not over yet. It's not over yet, but it doesn't look good. They got to go away to Italy and win that game. And we'll see how that goes. Now, again, So all of the age-restricted games were yesterday and today. And Scotland under 21s. Starting lineup, no Kelly. So that's why I didn't watch this one. But I did watch it when Kelly came on because Emakhu was subbed off. Kelly gets subbed on. I think they both kicked off at the same time. So I thought, okay, I'll start watching this one because it was an official stream. It didn't keep crashing. Daniel Kelly came on for Cameron in the 82nd minute. They were losing 1-0 and they obviously had to go for it. Belgium scored in the 72nd minute. You can see like 5 minutes after that, they make a couple of changes. Then they make a couple of changes more because they have to try and equalise and try and get back into it. But to no avail. They're pushing on, but then they got caught and they ended up losing 2-0. But, you have to give it a go. And we'll just skim the match report of this one because Kelly really didn't really play that much. I don't think he did anything really. He did a few things, a few forward passes and stuff, but I think the reason why they didn't start him because of the physicality. Because he's only 18 and it's under 21s, and the Belgium players were quite big. It's clearly like bigger than the Scotland players. Like you see these two here, like they look like grown ass men. So I think that's why Kelly didn't start. So there you go. So it's a draw. It's a win for Esse, it's a draw for Emakhu, and it's a loss for Kelly. And obviously there's games tomorrow, I believe, involving Ivanovic and George Saville, which should be available via Play International on YouTube. Check it out. Now we move on to this. What's all this about then? What's going on here? This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall welcomes emergency services exercises at the Den. Millwall Football Club hosted a major incident exercise alongside emergency service partners at the Den last week. The exercise, which was organised by the Metropolitan Police, involved security and stewarding staff from Millwall, as well as staff from a range of blue light services. This was the first exercise in a series of command post exercises at a number of different football clubs across London in the coming months. Each exercise was specially designed to immerse those taking part in real-time scenario and test how emergency service personnel and commanders respond to various spontaneous major incidents. Neil Robinson, Mill's head of safety, security and operations, said, it was an invaluable experience, interacting with emergency services, gaining insights into best practices for incident management and response. The collaboration between police, emergency services, safety at Sports Ground Authority, local authority and our security provider allowed us to refine our strategies and reinforce our commitment to ensuring safety and security in real-world environments. And we're grateful for the opportunity to continue enhancing our skills to serve our community and fan base. Chief Superintendent Chris Wright, spelt K-R-I-S, from the Metropolitan Police, who is exercise director. So is this a man or a woman, or is it one of those new women, the ones with penises? Who knows with the K-R-I-S? Said, I'm delighted we've been able to work with Millwall as part of our ongoing efforts to make sure we're prepared to respond to a variety of incidents, including scenarios resembling terrorist incidents. This kind of work is vital to ensuring the officers and staff involved can practice in a safe way, building their capability and experience so that if anything happens for real, they are prepared to respond in the best possible way. And this is ultimately about keeping people as safe as possible when they come to big events across London. And it's fantastic to see Millwall making the safety of their fans and local community a top priority. As well as Millwall club staff, their matchday partners and police, the exercise also included staff from the London Fire Brigade and London Ambulance Service, Safety Advisory Group from Lewisham Council, British Transport Police, English Football League and Transport for London also attended. The exercise and scenarios were not carried out in response to any specific threat. So, relax. As always, supporters and general public visiting the Den should be vigilant, report anything that doesn't feel right to a member of staff or steward, or report it to police via, or by calling in an emergency. Always dial 999. And then find out how you can host a terrorist training event at the Den by clicking here. which is millfc.co.uk/events. Yes. Obviously, we live in strange times in this day and age, and it's well known that what shall we call them, the right wing, which is anyone who isn't a rabid lefty, anyone right of the centre left is a right winger. They don't support all of the shit that's going on in the world, and it's kind of dangerous that they're doing this. To be honest with you, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it does seem that somebody's trying to start some kind of war abroad somewhere in the Middle East, in Iran, in Ukraine, with Russia, in Russia. And obviously, one way to get the, in quotes, right wingers to support that would be if a football stadium was attacked. And it doesn't take a lot to do it. You just need a drone that costs about 40 quid. So I wonder if they worked on that. But yeah, doesn't sound good. Now, going to mention this. I'm not going to. So Trevor Lee joins the Wall Talk panel. This is, if you didn't know about this, is Mill's podcast that they've been doing for, I think, maybe 2 or 3 seasons now. It's called Wall Talk, and they brought in Trevor Lee. It's before my time, but I'm sure many of you who are watching this are of the age that you know who Trevor Lee is, and you watched him playing and you quite liked him. So yeah, they're back again. Wall Talk, Millwall Football Club's official podcast, returns for another episode, and this time Trevor Lee is in the hot seat in the studio, in a show which sees the panel of Mark Litchfield, Nick Hart and Byron Webster look back at the winger's infamous Lions career, including a hilarious chat about the rules of football back in the day compared to the game that we know and love today. You can now exclusively watch the full episode for free on Mill TV simply by logging into your Mill profile, which, if you've ever bought tickets online, you have a Mill profile. You had to set one up to do that. So you can watch that. Alternatively, you can listen to the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Amazon Music from next Friday. So you have to wait a week. So you can see here it's locked. Obviously, I'm not logged into my account. But if you do it, there you go. And I wonder why they're doing it for free. Is it because are they sponsored by NordVPN? So maybe they're sponsored by NordVPN. So see, a lot of YouTubers now kind of semi-retired, or they don't even bother posting the video because the money on YouTube is so pitiful that the only way they make money is with a sponsored video. So if they can get a sponsor for a video, they will make a video, much like PewDiePie. Like, he's kind of semi-retired. Anytime he makes a video is because he's got a sponsor. So maybe that's how they connected up with NordVPN then, with their podcast. So yeah, that's available now. If you wanted to watch it, obviously it's International Week. We've got another week to go until Mill's next game. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.